I am certified pet professional Amy Lee. The only difference between you and your groomer is knowledge, techniques, and tools. It is absolutely my pleasure to share with you the secrets of the grooming industry. So stay put as we get started on this journey together today. Thank you for joining me live from the Grooming Table. I am Amy Lee, certified professional pet groomer since 2003. But it is absolutely my pleasure to share with you the secrets of the pet grooming industry so you can provide quality care for your beloved pets at home. That's what we do every Monday at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time right here live from the Grooming Table. Thank you all for joining me. I see so many beautiful faces in that chat. I am so happy to be here tonight. This is one a lot of you have been waiting for, and I'm excited to deliver it. I worked pretty hard on this little demo, and I'm excited to get chatty with you guys when we're all done. Tonight's topic and full demo is how to trim a small dog. I will share a full instructional video trimming a Maltese with you tonight right here live from the Grooming Table, guys. Don't forget, we can apply this trim to many other breeds. The face, the head of a Maltese is pretty much the way we would trim a Yorkie aside from ears, a lot of our mixed breeds. So you're really going to get a lot out of this tonight, and I'm happy. It's got good footage. It brings you in close. I cannot wait. Just remember that you cannot attempt to give a small dog a haircut or a dog a trim without properly preparing the skin and the coat thoroughly. You have to thoroughly prepare the skin and the coat, which is with bathing and brushing techniques. And you guys know all about that. But you know that I've got you covered, my friend, if you're not sure what I mean when I say properly prepare your dog. I've linked a full playlist in the description below of videos that I created just for you and your pet to ensure success when grooming your pet at home. And that is, I think, a playlist of 44 videos. So if you can't find it in that playlist, then I need to get to making more videos, okay? And I will. Don't worry, it's coming. Now listen, this demo, it moves pretty fast. It's packed full of important grooming secrets, so pay close attention and enjoy learning how to give your small dog a professional groom. Let's roll this, guys. I'm ready, because I can't wait to get to hanging out with you and chatting over what we're about to see. Here's our demo. Thanks for joining me. I love you. Let's roll it. How to trim a small dog. Guys, we're going to take a look at a Maltese. How's that for a small dog? But before we do anything, we have to bathe, brush, bathe, and prep the dog. When we can get a comb through the dog, we're ready for trimming. This is very important. When we can get a comb through the dog, we're ready to trim. So I have a number 10 blade on my detachable blade clipper, and I'm going to put a number 1 wall stainless steel snap-on comb over top of that 10 blade. But depending on the length of coat that you're willing to leave on your dog, you can choose a different snap-on comb. It's up to you. We're starting at the base of the skull. You can go with the lay of the coat or you can go against the lay of the coat. It really doesn't matter on this coat type. I prefer to go with the lay. With that one snap-on comb, I'm going to trim about 1 inch of the base of the tail. This just keeps it clean. Continue down your dog with the lay of the coat. Come on down past the rump, past the hips, just clean it all off, still with a number 1 snap-on comb or the snap-on comb of your choice. Also remember that snap-on combs will not heat up like blades do. You don't have to worry about your blade heating up like you would if you were clipping with a blade. You're clipping with a snap-on comb. Holding the leg and the tail up, you can clip inside of the thigh area and clean all that up. And just continue on, guys, until you get your coat nice and smooth. Don't go over the same spot over and over. Just keep moving back and forth with the lay of the coat. Find the jawline of your dog and clip from the base of the ear all under the jawline. The jawline will go under the dog's throat to the base of the ear. That is all going to be head assembly. We're going to use a different snap-on comb in that area, so you just stay put. Clip right up to the jawline, all around your dog to the base of the skull, just like this. Hold the ears out of the way so we don't remove any of that hair, and then just continue down your dog, guys, until you're getting a nice smooth look. Remember, our snap-on combs are only merely setting the length. They are not completing the haircut. They certainly are taking away a lot of the scissor work that we wouldn't have to do because they're setting a nice even length around the length of your dog, the body and the legs. If you would like to leave the length on the legs longer, you certainly can. Change to a longer length snap-on comb and trim the legs. It's up to you. And you can get that snap-on comb right up in there in the armpit. Snap-on comb is not the same as a blade. The comb is actually protecting the blade so it won't cut the skin. It's different, guys. It is not a blade. A snap-on comb is not a blade. I want you to know that. There are dangers with it. You still have to be careful and gentle with your dog. But a snap-on comb is not going to nick the skin. It's impossible because it's protecting the blade. However, don't forget the word comb is in snap-on comb. That means it has to be able to glide through the coat. No abundance of coat or matting or snagging can occur. It will not go through the coat. The coat has to be properly prepared. Just like I showed you in the beginning of this demo, you must be able to get a comb through your dog if you're going to use snap-on combs to set the length of your dog's haircut. And the reason that professional pet groomers use snap-on combs as well is to save you money and us not having to hand scissor your dog. Now I'm going to switch over to an A stainless steel wall snap-on comb over my 10 blade. And this is going to leave a little more length on Louie's head so that I can set the length and not have to hand scissor everything. I will be scissoring and thinning and finishing this head beautifully, but this is saving us time. It's saving us effort. It's setting the length of Louie's head assembly evenly all around his head, his cheeks, his top skull, his muzzle. Using snap-on combs saves us time, and it saves our clients money on the groom because we're not spending so much time hand scissoring. Now I'm switching over to my Kenchi Flash 4-in-1 clipper for the rest of the clipping work. You can continue to use your 10 blade at this point, but I'm going to use my Kenchi Flash. I love it. Set to a 30 blade for the pads of the feet only. I like to clean out the pads of the feet with a 30 blade because it keeps the feet nice and clean, which is part of the sanitary trim. Sanitary means we want these areas to be kept clean. It's best for the dog and for you. Now I'm going to use an 8-inch straight shear and my Jody Murphy thinning shear, and I'm going to do all the finishing work. We're going to comb the brow down from the base of the skull to the brow, tilt the dog's nose down, and tidy up everything at the base of the skull. Now we're going to hold the ear up and we're going to round this cheek, and we're rounding from the base of the ear to the nose. I like to pull the lip back and even out the flu area. Let's fold the ear against the cheek and tidy up everything behind the ear. Let's flip that ear back and we're going to tidy up everything in front of the ear. And again, we're going to create a U shape from the base of the ear to the base of the nose. A U shape. That's our head assembly. Fold the ear forward to the cheek again, and anything that pops out that needs to be tidied up, you'll see it, just tidy it up. And notice, guys, I'm using my comb before I make any cuts. My comb is pulling the hair out that needs to be trimmed. Using my Jody Murphy outliner shear, which is a thinning shear, I'm going to blend everything that I just scissored. Does that make sense? Everything that I just scissored with my straight shear, I am now just blending the edges of my scissor work with my thinning shear. A lot of groomers don't take the time to do this. The reason I do is because it makes my grooms look flawless. It gives such a natural look to just blend off our scissor marks. And our scissor work can be quite beautiful, but this thinning shear technique is going to blend any imperfections in our scissor work. And the more you use your thinning shears, your blending shears, the more comfortable you'll get used to this technique. There again, just tidying up the shape. If there's anything that we missed at this point with our scissor work, we can blend it off with our Jody Murphy outliner shear, or our Kenchi lightning shear, or our Jody Murphy blending shear, whichever we choose to use, guys. It's your choice. You can use what I use, but I can tell you that I could use pretty much any thinning shear to do this work. Some are more aggressive than others. The Jody Murphy outliner shear takes a little more than the Kenchi lightning. Let's do a little scissor over comb technique. I use this blending technique because the comb lifts up the hair and shows me where it's uneven. And I'm only going to blend thin off the areas that are uneven. The rest is going to fall through the comb. It's just a wonderful technique, guys. If you practice it, if you work with it, you'll love it. It really makes a difference. Now we're going to tidy up the length of the ears. I'm using a straight shear again. And I do have a video on my channel, I will link it in the card, that's going to help you trim the ears evenly, trim feet, shave pads, and trim the tail if those are areas that you struggle with. So I will be sure to link that in the card for you. You know, I'm just combing and scissoring off anything that is obstructing my shape. And notice you have to pick the legs up. You have to move your dog around. You have to tilt the chin up. You have to make the dog stand. You have to move your dog while you're trimming him so you can see how your trim is going to look when your dog moves. I'm going to say that again, guys. You have to move your dog. Pick the legs up while you're trimming them. Straighten your dog up. Make him stand nice. Tilt the chin up as if he were proud and looking tall. You have to move your dog when he's on the grooming table so that you can see how he will look when he moves. It took me a while to learn that trick, guys. And I hope you write it down or say it 14 times so you never forget it, because it is such an important trick. You need to see what your dog will look like when they move while you're trimming them. Angle the tuck up to the elbow like I've showed you in my schnauzer video. Trim, we're just tidying up everything that our snap-on comb work couldn't accomplish. There's some scissor work involved, always, guys. You can't just use your snap-on combs. You definitely want to be comfortable with your scissors, and your scissor work will improve with every groom. Speaking of improving, if you're liking this video, smash that like button, guys. Let me know, let YouTube know that you like this and you would like more content like this, because it will help you groom your dogs at home. Because that's what we do here, guys. We're better together. And don't forget about our private Facebook group. We share so many secrets there. Everybody shares there and helps everybody. I'm so proud of you guys. I want to say that. And I'm also very proud of Louie, because he's so cool, isn't he? He's just so wonderful. He looks good. And your dog can look this good too. I promise you that. Okay, I was just gathering a video here for Jana. She has doodles. So I'm going to post that video there for you, honey. That's okay. What I was just gathering a video here for turn that off. All right, because I'm looking over your questions before while you guys were watching the demo, because I'm going to try to really get on top of that tonight and help you out as much as possible. That's why we get together here. So I really love that demo, guys. I am going to be putting it together as its own little upload. I'm trying to get my screen right so I can see you guys. All right. So because I noticed that when I throw my demos together in a live stream, they tend to kind of get lost in YouTube, and they don't provide as much benefit as they should be. So I like to release them as their own video. So I'll be doing a complete Maltese video. So don't worry, guys, and I will be slowing a lot of it down. I just was rushing you guys through that, wasn't I? Okay, so let's get to your questions, and we're going to talk about a few things. I'm really excited because the topic of trimming a small dog is something that a lot of people kind of fear, because small dogs are very petite. They're delicate, and they can be quite a handful because they're just full of energy. I know all about that. But I got to tell you, most of the small dogs that I work with, I just love it. They're wonderful. We have a relationship together. And you can have that type of relationship with your pet, too, if you're trimming them at home. I want you guys to know that. So let's go right to questions. I'm going to dive in here. And I do want to say, Jill Russell, congratulations for becoming a member. We're glad to have you. Hopefully you enjoy your perks of being a member. I like to give a lot of private live streams. That's what I've been doing lately. But obviously my members know that when I do give away big prizes, such as a Prima bathing system, that is only exclusive to members. So that gives you guys a little leg up for being dedicated in there and supporting my channel with the $4.99 every month. And I appreciate you guys. So I do give back. And we're just about to hit 28,000 subscribers today. Thank you very much. I've been watching that number go up And it just makes me so happy to see how big and bonded we are all becoming. And we are just doing great things together for each other, and helping our pets and helping each other's pets. So thank you guys. I am so proud of us. We are doing good things. But you do know when we hit 50,000 subscribers, I am giving another Prima bathing system away to one of my members. So you guys do have that to look forward to. And that's only a little more than 20,000 subscribers away. But I do want you to know it only took us, 6 weeks to gain 20,000 subscribers. So it's coming. It's coming, guys. All right, let me just answer a few questions. I keep saying that. I'm going to go and answer some questions. I am going to answer some questions. Okay, so I don't want to miss anybody. I want to answer Jana Whittington. Wow, Whittington. That's my maiden name. I saw that and I was like, are we related? Because that's really not a very common name. I don't know many Whittingtons at all. So I would like to know if we're related anyway, or where you're from. But to answer your question, Jana, you said, I have 2 doodle puppies. They're 3 months old. Any tips on how to care for their coat as they lose the puppy hair and move to the adult coats? And that usually starts to transpire around 4 months old. If I remember my doodle Gus, I was around 4 months old. I started seeing the change in coat. It became a little denser. It became a little more wiry, a little less cottony and soft. It's still soft, but yeah, it changed about 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and he was really getting his adult coat. So the best thing to do, I did link a video for you. Did you see that, Jana? And that video is one of my popular videos when it comes to maintaining your doodle's coat at home. And it was a good one. And it actually was with Gus when he was still, I believe, under a year old. So it would be a good one for you to watch, I think. And that I linked in the chat. But it's called Golden Doodle Tips and Tricks, or Products and Tips, something like that. It's on my channel. So that's the biggest thing, is maintaining the coat. You don't want to let your doodle get super overgrown before you decide to give him his first trim. And that trim may not be with clippers. I was trimming on my Gus, my golden doodle, out of the gate. He was like 8 weeks old. And I was trimming with scissors and thinning shears and just shaping and getting him used to being up on the table and getting him used to being handled. I just think it's very important to make your dog used to being handled and you touching them and you expecting things from them up on a grooming table. And then as they grow, they become very comfortable up there, as well as the two of you bond much stronger through grooming. So each grooming session will just improve and improve and improve. And that's what you want, right? So congratulations on the doodles, because they are a wonderful breed. But go watch that demo. It'll help you. I saw some more questions, and I want to get to it. Dabina says, how do you trim that thin straight hair under the leg in the armpit area? It gets caught in the snap-on combs sometimes. I know exactly what you mean. And just like I was talking about in my video, our snap-on combs, they are combs, basically, okay? Excuse me. They are combs. I showed up with a comb. Ha! Anyway, if you can't get a comb through areas, this is not going to go through either, okay? So I just kind of want you guys to associate these two things with behaving the same way, okay? If your snap-on comb is snagging, then you've either got a little matting in there or you've got a little bit of abundance of coat that needs to be brushed out, like dead coat. It may not be a quote-unquote mat, but it's enough of dead coat that the comb is snagging to get through it, and it won't go through it. So you can hold the dog's leg out like he's taking a step and gently brush with a softer, slicker brush, not a real aggressive one, with a nice, gentle technique, and you can remove that dead coat out of the armpit area unless it's really, really matted. And it is a sensitive area for dogs, so they are going to fuss a little. if you're pulling and because it's matted. In that case, you take either a 5-in-1 or 4-in-1 clipper. I use the Kenchi Flash. You set it to a 10 blade, or you use your professional pet grooming detachable blade clipper with a 10 blade. And you gently go in that armpit and scoop along the line of the armpit like that, okay? And remove that mat. When the dog is standing, you won't see that unless you just take way too much. You don't want to take a lot. You just want to take right in that armpit area, okay, with a 10 blade. And sometimes that's what we have to do. And it's definitely much safer to use a clipper with a 10 blade in an armpit area or a mat area than it is with a scissor or a thinning shear. So I do want to say that. And I think I saw somebody said, either it was a comment on a video or it was in here, somebody said about their dog having some matting behind the ears, which is really typical because that soft, flowy hair easily gets matted. Plus, we're often petting our dogs in those areas, so that helps for that to mat up. If that happens, don't go for the scissors because it's very likely that you could make a mistake and snip skin. Okay, I want you to go for a number 10 blade just on the mat area only. Get between the skin and the mat and just slough it out of there. Then use your slicker brush and brush the rest of the little matting out. It may be a lot of little mats, and sometimes what I'll do on, say, like a spaniel, because they really have a thick ear and thick hair there, is hold the ear back and trim everything in front of the ear and behind it. Just get it out of there. Because then when the ear lays with all that pretty hair, you're not going to see that anyway. And it's just much more comfortable for your dog to get rid of that hair. It's called venting the ear. And we all know our spaniels, they need to get air in there. They typically, because they have such thick, deep, dark, wrinkly ears inside, they tend to want to get ear infections. It's common for them. So that's a good idea, guys. Go for the 10 blade when there's little mats in areas behind ears and armpits, even around the groin. Use your 10 blade. It will gently, easily, quickly remove that mat for you. Pain-free for your dog, and that's the most important part. Pain-free. All right, so hopefully that helped you, honey. Yeah, asked about the armpit hair. The next question I saw was, I did see it there. Okay, Doreen says, Amy, a show and tell video on excretion of anal glands and when it is and when it isn't necessary, please. Boy, I gotta tell you, you guys have been asking and asking, and you know I don't trim I don't trim anal glands. I don't express the anal glands in dogs because I feel like that is definitely more of a health thing that requires a vet's attention, because if your dog is not naturally expressing their anal glands, then it's either a diet issue or something's going on. They could be impacted. They could be infected. You know, it does happen. And as a groomer, somebody who's taking care of cosmetic things on a dog, I just don't feel that a groomer needs to be doing that, because if I express all the anal glands of the dogs that come in here, let's say one of them goes home and then it kind of caused it to become inflamed or something, and it could. If I'm just expressing glands for the sake of expressing them, I could be messing with something that doesn't need messed with. So that's why I don't do it, and I don't recommend that groomers do it. But here's what I'm thinking, Doreen. There's been a lot of chatter on my channel about people wanting to know more about anal glands. I think that next week's live stream, I need to cover from A to Z anal gland issues, anal gland care, anal gland complications, anything anal gland. I am going to dive deep, and I'm going to research all week for you guys, and I'm going to come up with something that hopefully is going to answer all your questions about anal glands, because I really feel that it's something that everybody is struggling with, and it's on their minds, and I need to put it to rest. So I think next week for our live stream, that's what we're going to do, okay? And it's going to be very informative. All right, and I'm glad you asked the question, Doreen, because it's on a lot of people's minds, so thank you for that. Oscar says, what type of shears do you recommend for trimming a Shih Tzu's face? I can use any shear, really. I mean, I have my own favorites, and my favorites may not end up being your favorites. And I do say that a lot to you guys, that what feels good to me may not feel good to you. One of our subscribers and members of this channel, her name is Elsie. I think Elsie is in, Elsie Wang, is it? She's in our private Facebook group, and she's a specialist with, I forget what her term, what it is, but she helps people find grooming tools and stuff that fit their needs, and she does research on it. So reach out to her too if you say, you know what, I'm a lefty. So a left-handed person needs to have left-handed shears, and make sure you do, guys. If for those of you who are lefties, they make left-handed shears for you so that you get the proper balance and comfort when you're scissoring your dogs. Otherwise, you'll do damage to your hand if it's not a good fit. But to answer your question, what is my favorite? What do I recommend? I really love this shear. This is the Jody Murphy. Can you see that? It used to be made by Precision Cut, but it's made by Kenchi now. It's the Jody Murphy Outliner shear. It's not a huge shear, but it's aggressive. And why I think you guys might like it, because as compared to my Kenchi Lightning, which happens to be really one of my favorite shears, you can see the Kenchi Lightning shear has a lot more to control. There's a lot more blade. It's aggressive, just like this one, the Jody Murphy Outliner. And they sell this on, Jody sells these on her website, jodymurphy.com. She sells the Outliner shear. I'm not sure if Kenchi sells these for her, but I know they make them for her. And the Kenchi Lightning shear by Jonathan David is my favorite. I use this one a lot. I use both of them a lot. But I think you guys would be more comfortable with this one because it's a little bit smaller of a shear, but it's still aggressive. When I say aggressive, I mean it takes a lot of coat. So it'll get the job. You can almost scissor a dog with a thinning shear, if that makes sense. And it leaves a much natural look, a lot less likely that you'll see any scissor marks that you didn't like or you didn't mean to leave. So that would be what I say. And I also think that Guide makes really good shears, lightweight, they stay sharp. They make a gator shear. This is the razor shear, and I don't think they make it anymore because I cannot find it. I've looked for it everywhere. I've had this for years. I sent it out to be sharpened. It's good as gold again. So it holds a sharp edge long. And the gator is nice too because I know it's lightweight and well balanced. Kenchi also makes some really good 8-inch shears that are lightweight. Their Scorpion series is good. The Love series is good for a beginner, but it's still a good shear. It's well balanced. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. I think it's around $90. So you really got to find what feels good to you, and the best place to do that is to go to Groom Expos. But right now they are not having expos at all. I don't think any of them have been. They've all been canceled since March. I know Hershey is going to be canceled. I just got a thing. I did a American Grooming. I forget what it is. It's the first one I'm ever going to attend. I can't wait to attend it for you guys too. It's a virtual. This is weird to even think I'm going to a virtual pet grooming expo, but I am. I signed up for it, so I'm going to let you guys know about it. You can sign up for them too. You can actually take seminars, but it's virtual, so I don't know how much I'm going to like it virtually, but I am going to let you guys know, and that's coming up this month in August, so I will keep you guys posted. In fact, I will go back and post something on my community page in my YouTube channel that lets you know how to sign up for that show if you're interested. Okay, so I'm going to do that after we're done here. Okay, and what type? I got that. I don't want to miss anybody. Connie says, what should I use to get a tight mat out of the opening of an Aussie's ear? Okay, I just talked about that. A number 10 blade, either on a cordless 5-in-1, 4-in-1 clipper, or on your professional detachable blade clipper. Use a 10 blade. Don't go in there with the scissors unless you can brush it out with quicker slicker. This is very helpful to help you brush out little mats. But if it's so severe, just clip it out. You know, just the mat only, and then the rest of the hair will kind of camouflage it. Usually it does. Golden retrievers get that too. Okay, so hopefully that helps you, Connie. Janelle says, she says, I see you're using a cordless. Which one is this? Please, no problem, honey. Now, this is not what I'm using for full grooms. This is the Kenchi Flash. And I've been talking a lot about it over the last probably 6 weeks when I ordered it. And the reason I chose this one, well, in fact, I did a live stream, guys, called Best 5-in-1 Clipper or something like that. You should go watch that because I tell you why I chose this one over the Bravera, over the Arco, over the Chromato, over anything. It's because the Kenchi Flash actually makes a 3-blade, a 4-blade, a 5, and a 7 that you can put on here. Now, this is not a detachable blade clipper, meaning this is not the same type of blade. You can take it off to replace it and to clean it, but it's not made to be taken on and off every day like our detachable blade clippers. But you can change this blade with a 7 or a 5 and give your dog a haircut. It's quiet. The reason I chose this clipper is because of that being able to put the 3 and the 7 and the 4 blades on here, which I need to buy them so I can show you. It is a 4-in-1 clipper, not a 5, which means it's a 10 blade, 15, 30, and a 40. I don't know what this side is. I can't do this on camera. I'm always beside this. Okay. This side. I don't know what is that, you know, for maybe for European. I don't know what these mean, but I go by this side, which is a 10, a 15, a 30, and a 40 blade. And those are all that I need when it comes to an adjustable blade clipper. So it also has speed control. So you can see that number right there. It's at speed 3. Now it's at 4. Now it's at 5. The little guy's motoring. Now it's back down to 1, 2. So in other words, if your dog is not tolerating the sound, which it is actually very quiet, in case you noticed, that's a good thing, especially to be trimming around their face. If your dog is not tolerant, you can kick it down a little bit and hopefully, you know, just that little bit of less vibration and less noise helps your dog to tolerate trimming around the face or whatever. You can do full grooms with them, but you certainly wouldn't be grooming like a Cocker Spaniel or something with this. I mean, I just don't think so. I would never go for it, but if it's all I had, I guess I'd be willing to try it. So hopefully that helps you out, Janelle. That is the Kenchi Flash Clipper, and it's, to me, it's much more versatile than any of the 4-in-1 or 5-in-1 clippers on the market, and that's why I chose it. Jenna says, probably, you look like my cousins and my cousins in Missouri. I think we're related, honey. I got to tell you. All right. Guns Russ says, just wanted to say the Schernbayo grooming table and free force dryer I mentioned last week, I ordered, he's received them both, or she, both work and look great. Oh, thank you for the feedback. We spoke about that. That was an actually wonderful deal. And we spoke about it in the live stream. If you buy the table, I think you said it was around $600. You got the free $190 value of their force dryer, which I've been using the Schernbayo force dryer, and I think it's really good, and I think you guys would like it. I really like the adjustable variable speed, too. I think that's pretty cool. So, let's see. S. Silvale says, I will be getting a Shih Tzu in September. Awesome. What tools do I need? Well, to start out, I mean, if you're talking about grooming your dog only, then you really need to do a lot of research, and you need to, you know, go watch my videos. But really, home tools, what you need is a good slicker brush, a good grooming comb. You need a shampoo and conditioner for sure. I would recommend the Nature Specialty Quicker Slicker for brush outs. When you're doing brush outs, it's going to help you brush your puppy, and it's going to help keep them cleaner longer in between baths. I would also highly recommend a grooming table so you can work with your dog. If you are going to take them to a groomer, that's okay. You're still going to have to be doing that in between. So I would definitely look for a portable grooming table, and a Shih Tzu is not a very large dog. So you can get away with a medium-sized table, which may run you around $60, $70. You can fold it up, put it under your bed when you're not using it. It will be wonderful when you're working with your dog to have them on a grooming table. You also need a grooming arm. Most of them do come with one, but make sure you choose one that does. And you need a grooming loop to keep them on the table. Really important. Hi, Mindy. Mindy says, I'm having trouble with the front dew claw. I tried your technique, but I just can't get the right angle and see properly when she wiggles. Yeah, it can be a difficult area. Her legs are just so small and short, so it's just awkward for you because she's so tiny. Well, try, boy, I wish I could have a little model dog to show you. Okay, your dog is right here. Here's the front legs, and here's his face, facing that way. Normally, I stand on this side, and I'm working with the nails. Try tipping this leg in where the dew claw is here on the inside from underneath the dog on the opposite side. Maybe that will help. Sometimes it's just them being so small, it's hard to handle them, you know? So that might help. Hopefully it does. Oh, hey, Sherry. Sherry says, great demo. I still struggle with the inside of the legs, and I don't get the sweet little Louis, like Louis. He's great, isn't he? I get the wild ones. Well, the inside of the legs, that was kind of a hard one for me too, I will say. I always make sure when you're holding the dog's leg out towards you and you're looking at it from underneath. I mean, I often get under there. I'm looking at the dog like this when I'm scissoring. Use your comb always to pull out the hair and only scissor up to, you know, like the armpit. And when the dog puts his leg down, comb everything up and scissor down the shape of the leg. You'll get used to it. It is awkward. I know it is. Okay, Mindy says, I'm having trouble. Oh, wait. Whoa, geez, what just happened? Mindy, I think I got you. Yes, I got you, honey. Okay. Oh, yes, and Trisha's from Tennessee. God, look at all my friends in here. This is awesome. You guys are showing up from all over the place. It just makes me so happy. And I saw my friend Jamers is here from the campground. Hi, Jamers. All right, so let me just look for more questions. Hey, Amy, I had to buy a Conair Pro Palm trimmer. I'm still trying to get my PU. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Elsie Wong, there she is. Elsie is our friend that is... Elsie, what is it that you do that helps everybody with your shears? I forget what, but she's very helpful, and she grooms, too. So you guys can reach out to Elsie. She is in our private Facebook group, too. If you're having trouble finding a shear that feels good to you, she can help you determine what you should be looking for, because she's very good at that. And I appreciate that, Elsie. I love having you here, honey. Okay, so sorry my message got cut off. Hi, Amy. I bought the Conair Pro Palm trimmer for my doodles, but I'm still having an issue with my doodles to allow me to trim between the toes and the pads of the feet. I will tell you, doodles are sensitive with their legs and their feet. They just are. Mine is, and he still is. So it's just, you're going to have to find ways to be patient, be calm, but assertive. You're just going to have to find ways to make them work for you. That's what I do with each individual dog. Sometimes it's getting close to them and talking quiet that helps calm them down. And sometimes it's being firm and saying, stop it. You know, and they're all different. So you've got to know your dog, and you've got to mean it too, you know, when you're trying to work with them and they're being difficult. Hello, Pac-Man Bob. Look at all you guys. Oh, my goodness. Groomer Girl Bruno. Oh, wow. Carrie has a question. Hello. She says, I have a hard time doing the eye area with the blade on a Shih Tzu. even holding the beard. So they're moving a little bit, I take it. My dogs just don't like it any tips. Shih Tzus are, because they have that hard wrinkle there, they don't like being messed with there a lot. They're like, they don't like it. So what I often will do is I'll put, when I'm going to trim there in the inverted V, because I really like to clean that out on a Shih Tzu, I'll put my finger over their eyes and kind of cover their eyes. That's what I do as I'm holding their I can't show you exactly. It may even be in some of my videos, but as I'm holding them by the nose and this, I will put my fingers over their eyes and quickly do one side. Then they don't see it coming, and I do it quick and carefully. So maybe that'll help. I know some of them are, you just got to keep trying like 100 different things and trying to help them, and some of them are just really difficult. Connie says, my toy Aussie is 14 pounds. That is little. I bet she's cute. Should I use a mini trimmer for the mat and her ear? No, because most of the mini trimmers are a 30 blade, and that can really cause irritation. I mean, you could, but don't put any pressure on it, to the skin. Just be very careful, okay? I recommend a 10 blade because it's safe, and it'll get between the mat and the skin safely. So that's what I would say. Michelle has, hello, she says, do I need a 5-in-1 or should I get I think yours got cut off too, honey. Detachable blade clipper, maybe is what you said. You can do everything with a Wall KM10 or an Andis AGC or a detachable blade clipper. You can do everything you need to do with a clipper like this. This is just it is a nice little helpful piece of equipment because it's quiet, it's so lightweight, it's portable, there's no cord, it's easy to shave feet of poodles because it's quiet, it's comfortable. It's easy to shave poodle faces. It's easy to shave cocker spaniel faces because it's quiet, it's comfortable, it's less vibrating. So it's kind of a pleasure to have one, but not everybody can afford to have 2 clippers, And for the longest time, my Bravera wasn't working right, and I lived without it as a professional. I just stuck with my detachable blade clipper and using 30 blades in the pads of the feet, 10 blades in the sanitary, and, obviously a 10 blade in my snap-on combs or whatever size blades I want to use. So you don't have to do it, Michelle. They're just nice. If you're only trimming your dog and you may have like a tiny little Yorkie or a Poodle or a Maltese, you could probably get away with trimming them with this and using the snap-on combs that come with this, because the ones that come with this only fit this clipper. So you probably could get away with that as long as you perfectly prepared your dog's skin and coat and there's no mats and it's nice and airy. You could probably get it done. But as a professional, you definitely want to have this guy. This is just a luxury to have it in addition to. Okay. Let's see. I see Pac-Man Bob has a question. I think Pac-Man Bob has a golden retriever, if I'm right. Hi, Amy. It's the slow student again. Oh, my God. Okay, I love you. Can you explain the definition of huckleberry? Yes, I can. Thank you. Pac-Man Bob has emailed me a couple times and had questions. And at one point, I don't know, I just quote things from movies sometimes. I just assume that everybody knows all the movies that I do. But I think it was Tombstone, the movie Tombstone with Val Kilmer or whatever. But he was this cool, Western guy. And at some point, he was going to take on one of the bad guys. They were going to do a draw, and he said, I'm your huckleberry. That's where it came from. And I said that to Pac-Man Bob in an email once. He asked a question. I said, I'm your huckleberry. I got this. You came to the right place. That's what it means. I'll take care of it. That's what it means. Okay, so now that we've cleared the air on that, pain management specialist Elsie is. Thank you, Elsie. And she's very helpful and very good. And she grooms, too. So that's why she's good with picking out the shears and stuff. Okay, I see Cindy has a question that says, There is a difference in the way a groomer expresses gland and the way the vet does. There's two ways to express the glands, and I'm going to talk to you about that next week, guys. The vets usually do it internally, and groomers usually do it externally. But either way, if it's done improperly, you could cause problems and pain to your dog. So we'll talk about that next week, guys. I promise. I'm gonna give it to you. We're gonna be talking all about the gross stuff next week. But hey, you asked for it. All right, Jill. She got her Kenchi shears today. That's awesome. I see Mindy has a question. She says, I just got my curved love shear, which is a Kenchi shear. It's a nice series, the love series. Just got my curved love shear, and for me, it just gives a better round shape. For me, as I love to do Asian fusion face, well, a curved shear is definitely going to help you with those nice round shapes. You know, round feet, scissoring, putting angulation in, and doing those heads. Absolutely, that's a great one. And I do love curved shears. Don't get me wrong, guys. I just don't use them all the time because I don't feel like switching around when I'm grooming. But most of the time, I'm not scissoring as much as I'd like to. I'm doing more pet trims, so the scissor work is just kind of tidy up work. The heads is one thing that I scissor, and that's almost it, you know. You're welcome, Connie. So Jamie says, how do I calm and handle a small dog and the ears? I've cut Abby's ears. She was a 3-pound Yorkie, better than I've done. Okay, how do I calm and handle a small dog and the ears? To tip the ears, I hold the ear and I get a good, you know, I don't just hold it out and scissor it. I have a hold of the ears. So if she moves, I'm not going to nick her or clip her, you know. So you really, especially a little that. So you just want to make sure that you're doing anything around the face. If you start to feel them pulling away, they're getting ready to flail. So just back off or correct them. Hey, hold still, hold still. And they go, well, what? It just distracts them when we talk. They don't actually listen to us. But anyway, that's probably what I would tell you to do. Hello, my question, Lenik? Okay. I missed you, honey. I missed your question. Hello, Amy. Question. I have clippers, and I am wondering if I need to upgrade. I find myself having to go over the same patch of fur until it catches everything. Maybe it's my technique. It could be. Or is it the clippers? I mean, a clipper is a clipper. It's going to clip. If you have a detachable blade clipper on and your coat's just got a little, are you clipping a clean coat or a dirty coat? Because if it's dirty, the clipper's just kind of going to ride over top. If the coat's clean and prepared right, you're going to be able to get through it. So it really isn't the clipper's fault unless your blade is dull. But if your blade's dull, it's not going to go through it at all. It's just going to... You'll know if your blade's dull. So that's what I would say, is your blade dull, but if it was, that would be obvious. Your clipper should be able to clip it, as long as it's, you know, a professional clipper for a dog. So I'm not sure which one you're using, honey, but, you know, I hope that helps. Are there any tricks to keeping your dog calm and still? Yeah, I've got a, that's for Ruck Mini. I've got a video on my channel called how to safely keep your dog on the grooming table, and safety tips, safety items for keeping your dog on the grooming table, something like that. So look for that one. It'll be helpful, and I think a lot of people found it helpful. Doreen says, I love your answer on anal gland question. 100% stand where you do. I'm a veterinarian. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm glad to hear a vet's opinion on that. All about holistic and healthy lifestyle living for humans and adults. Just wondering, not to be, I think you got cut off there, babe, but wow, I really am so glad to hear you say that, because just for years, groomers were doing it because they can, you know, and their dogs are already in the tub, and people are thinking, well, you know, you have the dog in the tub, just go ahead and express those glands, but you really shouldn't have to be doing it in the first place. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So thank you for saying that, Doreen. I'm glad to hear that. Jamie says, it was a see if you can in the tub for a long time. It was see if you can in the tub for a long. I'm not sure what you mean, honey. I might have missed part of that. Okay. Yes, guys, put those lines in. I don't want to miss your questions. I'm looking here. Ex-cosmetologist, passionate herbs. Ex-cosmetologist here. Any reason I can't use my people thinning shears? Thinning shears? Yes, you can. Your people clippers? No, you can't. They're not angled right for a dog's skin and coat. It's just completely different. They're heavier. They vibrate harder. So, but your thinning shears, honey, absolutely. And your straight shears? Yeah, you can use them. Most of the time, cosmetologists use smaller shears than this because they're only trimming like the width of their fingers. When you're scissoring dogs, you're scissoring down a leg, you're scissoring around a head. So it's different techniques that dog groomers use than cosmetologists. So typically the shears are a little longer when we're trimming our dogs, just to cover more ground. Okay. Judy says, is the Kenchi clipper as quiet as it sounds on YouTube? Yeah, it's very quiet. It sure is. In fact, I don't have a blade on. Let me show you. I'm going to give you guys, let me put a blade on my wall KM10. This is a 10 blade. So this is what it sounds like. Here, my mic's here. This is what it sounds like, my wall KM10. And this is what the Kenchi Flash sounds like. Big difference, right? Let's do that one more time. That's on number 3. Okay, and less vibration on the Kenchi Flash because it's just not as heavy duty. The blades aren't as heavy duty. It's just not as heavy duty. So yeah, it's a good bit quieter. If your dogs mind to have their face shaved, you know, a cocker or a poodle or just trimming around the eyes or whatever, I go for that one because they seem to tolerate it just fine. Okay. Terry says the Cyclone is on sale now too. That's another Schernbeo force dryer. Good to know, Terry. Thank you for that because a lot of people are in the market for it. And I see here that Judy forgot the dashes of the Kenchi clipper. Okay, I got you, honey. I got you. So we covered that. And Tiffany Brown says, have you ever used an Atero Spectra clippers? Nope, I haven't. If so, do you like them? I've read that they are quite nice. I have not used one, so I can't say. I'm not going to say that I do or don't like them because that wouldn't be fair because I've never tried them. I'm willing to try any clipper. Dabina says, bought the grooming table you recommended from Amazon. It's really nice and so well made. I bought the medium size even though I have a small dog. I recommend the medium. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback, Dabina. She has a small dog, but she chose the medium-sized table, and I like that too because it gives you a little more space to put your tools that they're not in the way of your dog when you're working, or your dog could knock off your table tools by, you know, moving around too much. And so if you get a little bit bigger of a table, it's just more table space for you to work. It's really nice. And Ruck Mimi says, I'm getting a new Pekingese puppy. Oh, they're so cute. Are there any tricks to keeping it calm while grooming? And any advice? Yes, like I said earlier with our friend Jana, with the golden doodle puppies. I think it was her, somebody else. A grooming table is definitely helpful for you to be able to work with your dog at home, even if it's just, you know, brush outs that you're doing twice a week. Having them up on that table is really going to benefit you and your pet because they know they're up there to do nothing else but work. There's nothing else for them to do up there. So they start to associate the grooming table with being groomed. And they like to be groomed as long as you're being gentle with them. So I'd say, you know, you're going to need a good slicker brush and a comb, maybe some quicker slicker, and a grooming table for sure. All right, now Sandra, I see you have a question. It says, what blade size should I use for trimming the hair of the paws? 15-pound Shih Tzu using a Wall KM10. Just joined in late is, oh, it's okay. It's okay. For trimming in the pads, I use a 30, but you can't apply any pressure with that 30, okay? Because it's really close to the skin. So a safe blade for you guys to use is a 10 or a 15. That's what I would recommend with the detachable blade clipper, which is what the Wall KM10 is. So it's a safer blade, and I think you would be more comfortable with it. Terry says, can you give any input on swivel shears? Yeah, I have played around with them at the expos, you know, because for a while that was like the buzz, you know, everybody was making them. It was the new thing, you know. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel better using the shears. Some shears don't feel good to me. Some shears have a really big offset here, and it don't feel good to me. But like I said, we all have our own design that feels good to us. I never bought one, Terry, because I just never really felt like I wanted it. I was like, okay, this is all right. I guess it's okay. I don't know. Never felt like I wanted it. I should try it, but we all know shears are expensive, and I don't want to spend $200 on a pair of shears if I'm like, well, I don't really like that, you know. So anyway, Janelle says, Elsie and Raquel deserve a salute for their awesome help on Facebook. You're right. Like they always are. They're always there and they're always helpful. You know what, Janelle? You're so right. Those two girls are awesome. You're all awesome. But Elsie and Raquel are on it. This is for Elsie and Raquel. You guys rock. You always got our back. You're always there to help us out. And we love you. Thank you. Yeah. Good call. Good call, Janelle. All right. So Mindy says, I prefer to put the paw out front a little. It's that way to see her dew claw. Okay, to pull the dew claw, yeah. And then use your thumb to push the dew claw forward a little so you can see it to trim it. You kind of got to use your fingers as tools. Remember, guys, I always say that when you're trimming nails especially, you want to use your fingers to push the nails up and away from the other nails so you know which one you're trimming, or to pull the hair away or whatever. So Rukmini says, I'm getting a new Pekingese. Oh, I got that one. Okay, got you. All right, how are we doing here on questions, my friends? Boy, I really liked the video tonight with Louie, and I love Louie. Sandra says, what blade size should I be using to trim the pads of feet? Oh, I got that one. Somehow my chat jumped up on me, I think. Okay, looks like I am caught up. I want to talk to you real quick, guys, about one thing. Sorry I didn't finish editing my comment. Robin, where are you at, honey? Did I miss something from you? I don't see it. There was a question in a Facebook group today about the little dog that I groomed. I'm going to throw a picture up here to show you. I said, well, it would be easier for me just to answer it in the live stream. This is Teddy. Teddy is a Cavapoo, a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel, and a poodle. He's small to medium dog, more on the small side than the medium size. He has a poodle coat, but just a little bit finer. It is definitely a scissor coat. It really, I mean, and let me stand beside him. I scissored him, and the question was, how do you charge for that? You know, how do you charge for all that scissor work? Now, I did use some snap-on combs and some other things, but if you're doing scissor work, it definitely takes you longer, and you definitely have to take breaks with the dog and give them breaks, get off the table, so that they, you know, don't get too fidgety on you. They need a break, mentally and physically. This particular dog is a subscriber's dog, and she contacted me. Her name is Marlo. She's really cool, and she's probably watching this, or she will be. She's from Michigan, and this little guy is 10 months old. He's never been groomed, and he had a lot of coat. You guys saw the coat that he had. It's in the Facebook group. I showed you before and after. Well, I was leery. She wanted to bring him to me. It was an 8-hour drive. She wanted to bring him to me and have me show her how to groom him, like a private grooming session, as well as groom him. So he would be groomed, and she would pay me for a private grooming lesson, which was kind of an all-day thing. So I had him all day with breaks. That's why I was able to scissor him. If a client came to me with a dog like this and wanted a lot of scissor work, I would be absolutely happy to do it, but the charge would be different. It would almost be like I would want him for half the day for a dog Teddy's size, so that I could give him a break. You know, the first thing I got to do is properly prep the coat, and there's a lot of coat. So prep, brush, blow dry, bathe the coat, and then he's going to need a break. And then we're going to, you know, do our snap-on comb work, which is basically just setting my lines on the top line, the chest, the tuck up, and the rump. And then the rest is scissor work. So I did have a lot of fun with Teddy. I mean, he did good. He was a little frisky, as to be expected. It was his first groom. I would not like to, I don't recommend waiting 10 months for a dog's first groom, especially a dog that had that much coat. That's just throwing him into a lot to accept. The force dryer, the clipper, a new person touching him, a bathing system, because I use my Prima bathing system on him. I like to wean them into that slowly when I work with dogs. I don't like it to be a big to-do for the first groom, because it's really just too much for them to take in. But that was Teddy. I loved him. We're friends, really good friends now, and I may be seeing him again. But his mom, she wanted to come and get a private lesson, and she did. And she may be coming for another one. But that is something that I get questions about from you guys. That is something that I do entertain. If you are ever wondering if you could, you know, pay to spend a day with me to learn, especially if you tell me what it is you need to learn. If you want to learn how to groom your own dog, and you are able to bring your dog here. I mean, she had to get a hotel room and spend the night, 2 nights, for this to happen. And she did all that. There's hotel-friendly, dog-friendly hotels, and that's what she did. It was about 5 miles from my house. It was a wonderful day. We had an awesome time, and she learned a lot. And I got to hand scissor a dog. So it was fun. But anyway, that's always an option, guys, so you got to reach out to me. I'm working on a form right now to that you guys can submit either consultation requests or grooming instruction requests. You know, we can even, I'm trying to work together to put something together that will be like a Zoom meeting as well, that we could do with a live dog, that I could have a live dog. But this is all stuff that I'm working on that I haven't perfected, so I haven't thrown it at you yet. But it's stuff that I'm working on, because a lot of people want help and training, and there's not a lot of places to go for it. Okay, Josie, did you have a question? Is the Conair Pro Dog good clippers for professional results? That I'm not sure. The Conair Pro Dog, I don't know if it's a detachable blade clipper, it will work for a professional quality groom. Is it the best detachable blade clipper on the market? I'm not sure, because I haven't used one. But as long as it is a detachable blade clipper, it should be good enough. And I hope that helps. Faith says, I wish I could have seen a video of this dog that you scissored. It was cool. His mom didn't want any parts of the video stuff. But to be honest with you, she was paying me to teach her, and I needed to be focused on her and on little Teddy. I couldn't have been messing with a camera, and it would have just been too much. But maybe, you know, we're working on having other people film for me sometimes too. And that's the kind of stuff that I want to do for my members. And I see King of Aliens just become a member too. Thank you so much. But that's the kind of stuff that I want to do for my members, is those extra kind of candid behind the scenes stuff that I'm not giving to anybody else, and it's just more personal yet learning. So that's kind of what I try to hold my members' videos to, you know. Okay, I have a question from Koala. It says, hi, I'm going to have 2 Havanese puppies in a month. Oh, that's awesome. Our friend Mary has 2 Havanese. I would like to keep them not too short, but maybe 1 inch on the body length. That would be nice. And would like to make a teddy bear face. What size is the combs or the blades? So you're going to want to use snap-on combs. You're probably going to want to use, this is a 1 inch. It's the E. Yeah. The E blade does leave 1 inch of coat, if you guys can see that. And also you have the other sizes where you can go a little shorter to tidy up around the rump. You can go shorter on the chest. I use different sizes on the same groom. It depends on what breed I'm doing, especially poodles and Bichons. I'll use different size snap-on combs for the rump, for the chest, for the top line. It's, you know. How do you join the Facebook group? There is a link on my, I will get you the link right now, honey. There's a link on my YouTube channel. I'm going to click on it right now so that I can give you the link. And then you request to be a member. And here, I have it right here. Hang on. Let me get back to, whew, there's so much going on. Let me get back to my chat. There it is. This is the link to the Facebook group. If you click on that link, it'll ask you to submit a request, and then I get the request and I approve it. And then you're in, because it is a private Facebook group for members only. So you have to be a member. All right. So hopefully that helps. Did I just say a question? Joe Mama says, how would you groom an American Eskimo dog? Would you shave it? No, I wouldn't. I would groom an Eskimo dog just like I would a golden retriever. Basically the exact same way. I just did a full demo on a golden retriever about 2 weeks ago. It was a very extensive demo that shows you exactly how to groom a golden retriever the right way, as well as de-shed them the right way. I would not shave an American Eskimo. The coat will grow in way too thick. They will become hot. And it's just, there's so many reasons why we don't shave a double coat. And I know a lot of people request it, but you have to educate your clients if you are a groomer and say, because that coat is needed to regulate your dog's body temperature, if we take it off, it really throws everything off in your dog's system and how it works. So we don't want to take that off. We want to maintain the coat. We want to clean the coat. Their undercoat is just like a filter, if that makes sense. And when we change the oil in our car, we have to change the filter so that it can filter bad things out of our motor. Same with the dog's undercoat. It's going to collect things in the undercoat because that's what it's supposed to do. And then we got to clean that undercoat, clean the filter, so it can continue to do its job. That's all. So, Joe Mama, go watch that video, my full groom on a golden retriever. That's exactly how I groom an American Eskimo too. Thank you, Pac-Man Bob. I loved that video too, and I thought it was really good. Okay, that's right, King of Leon's. Now I can say, I ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Absolutely. Okay. Where are you located? I'm in Pennsylvania, SL Vale, Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania. I'm going to let you guys go because I've got a lot of work to do diving into anal glands for you guys next week. Oh, it's going to be so much fun talking about anal glands. I'm even going to have to come up with some illustrations that I can show you guys and say, see, this is what I mean. I'll make it interesting, I promise. I want to thank you all for joining me today. I'm so glad that we get together every Monday at 5:30 live from my grooming table right here. We're coming together all over the world, and it means everything to me to have you with me. Thank you so much. So I'm going to throw down a subscriber showdown and see you all next Monday when we're going to talk about anal glands. So get your questions ready right now about anal glands. Ooh. That sounds so much fun, doesn't it? Here's your subscriber showdown. I love you guys. I'll see you next week.
very important that you all be good to each other, and the practice the social distancing. So you shouldn't sniff other people's legs, and you really shouldn't sniff their crotches until this whole thing is over. That's social responsibility. So I'm here if you need me, and I'm really wishing you some good luck. Okay? All right. Bye.